All right, welcome back. It's still Breakfast Daily. Use hashtag Breakfast Daily on all social media platforms. The WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. We'd like to hear from you, particularly in the next conversation that we're about to get into. The issue of flooding in urban areas, right, on our streets. Beautifully tarred roads, flooded, and sometimes cut off, because the water won't go away when it rains. Now, Kokwe,
Yes,
there's a video that you filmed this morning on your way to work. Now, that same area, I passed there earlier, and it was dark. So that's why I didn't bother to stop or get down or do anything there. And of course, the street lights are also not working. So, you're just, you're going to be using car lights to film, But that area, I think we should take a look at the video. We'll take a look at the video. I'll come back and make some comments on this because it's so unnecessary for water to be sitting on the road at that place. Let's take a look at this video.
Okay, so this is the road from Tesano heading towards Circle. And this is what the road looks like. It is totally flooded. Like, it's so bad that it's causing major traffic. It's really bad. I have to try and navigate this. Yeah, so because of that, traffic has been awful. And it's causing a lot of traffic buildup on this road. So this is just outside of Ghana Telecom University.
So, some of you would know this area. It's when you get to the Abeka Junction, coming from Achimota, Tesano, you get to Abeka Junction. There's nothing that prepares you for this until you get to the Echo Bank on your right. Okay. Now, when you get to the Echo Bank, just as you go past the Echo Bank, getting into the Ghana Telecom gate, you see this massive river in the road. Yes. Now, the thing about this, Kokwe, and for me, I remember sitting on this set and commending the assembly, whoever went to do the cleaning and the silting in October, November. I remember sitting on this set and commending them. That's what should have happened a few weeks ago to prepare for this rain. But it didn't happen. And so that's why this mess is there. There's no reason under the sun for us to have this water sitting on our roads. Somebody, when it was time to do their job, did not do it. But they have collected salary. And they will continue to collect salary like that. Yeah. That's Ghana for you. They've taken their salary last month when they didn't desilt the gutter. This month, they've not desilted. This water will take about 3 or 4 days to finally move out. If we don't get any rains,
that's what I was about to say. Unless it rains again.
Yeah, if it rains again,
like it rained last night.
No, if it rains again, what will happen is that the island will now also be flooded. It will spill over the island. Okay, until it drops just below the island, and then it will sit on the road for another 4 or 5 days. This is what happens. You see, and the thing is that, thankfully, I live on the other side, so I know the experience. I know how it works. In fact, look, yesterday, on my way to work, there was water on the road, but it wasn't this much.
Yeah.
Okay? And if it hadn't rained yesterday, okay, it would have
found somewhere to go.
Almost all of it would have gone. But of course it rained. And the water, this water is not coming from, let's say, the rain that falls on the road. No, it's from other sources, and it's collecting on the road. This is what's happening. But the gutter is there. It's beneath the island. The middle there. It's there.
But it's choked. Because we litter, we throw plastic, and there's silt in there as well. It washes all the debris.
What you find is that, interestingly, this particular part of the road here has very little rubbish. It's mostly silt. No, silt, I saw it the last time they cleaned.
When they cleaned,
I could not believe it. No, honestly, because I'd always questioned how much rubbish must there be in these gutters.
There before it gets so choked. But it was
silt. It's just silt. Look, one of the signs of a poor nation is dust and dirt that is freely moving on roads.
And choking gutters.
It's a sign of a poor country.
It's
because
tragic.
rich countries don't have sand moving on their roads like this.
Yeah, because their roads are properly tarred.
And they've grassed the areas that need to be grassed.
The medians of grass. So you barely see any dust. But, there's another video we have of flooding in Osu this time. For those of you who are familiar with Osu, what we call Papaye Down, the street beside Papaye that connects Osu to like the Nyaniba, Oxford Street to Nyaniba area. Blue Gate, exactly. So let's take a look at this video as well. Some flooding that is creeping into people's homes. Yeah.
Like, fuck. Hi. Yeah? It's not too I want to. Wow.
I'm not sure what the solution is to this. There are gutters, but they get choked. And even when you could even argue maybe they're not choked, it's almost as if at a point the gutter is like it ends. Yeah. So there's nowhere for the water to go because people have built a waterway.
It's come to a point and then
it just ends. Yeah. So what do you do? Yeah. And it's because of our human activity, our lack of planning, our lack of adherence to plans and demarcation of where you should build and where you shouldn't. Yeah. And this is the video we're going to see.
So Kokui, let's follow the logic or the illogicity of what's happening, right? So we've built storm drains, right? And the storm drain passes behind, I've forgotten the name of the plaza, but there's a plaza there in Osu, on that street, the Papaye Street, going down towards Blue Gate. It's actually next to Blue Gate, so it's between the plaza and Blue Gate.
Osu-Foriko.
Yes, the Foriko Plaza. Foriko Mall. Foriko Mall, exactly. So it's behind the Foriko Mall that it comes to. And then it connects through and crosses the road and goes through the, there's a restaurant in the back of the Osu movie house area. There's there's a restaurant, popular restaurant in the back there, and then it goes all the way towards the sea. No, it's not Asmara. It goes towards the sea.
Yes.
So all right. So So that's the cause of it. But what people have done is that they dump their rubbish into the storm drain, They do all kinds of illegal constructions, and they include a storm drain in their construction that they have done, right? Now, when you're coming to a construction, some of these people don't seek permits. They just begin. Now, those who seek permits, my question is, who gives those permits and allows them to disrupt the storm drain? I don't understand the logic, you see. And so when you see flooding like this, it's not like, oh, we are helpless and unfortunate, an act of God has happened. No, it's an act of misbehavior and indiscipline
action.
by citizenry, one, by duty bearers, even more importantly, because when somebody is pouring rubbish into the drains, it's not as if he's pouring the rubbish on the blind side of everyone. People know.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course they do.
Someone poured the rubbish there. Sometimes you know who poured the rubbish in there, right?
I don't even understand
But we
how
don't discipline. We don't,
You would think that the after effects of this would be inconveniencing people enough and endangering people enough, because look at the flood in Osu, for instance, somebody's house.
Yes.
Obviously, there are electricals. There are things that, if water gets into, it can be disastrous. You've got people's vehicles who, if the water rises, could damage. If your vehicle gets flooded, that's another problem. You've got people, maybe I need to get to work in the morning, but because of this is going to affect me moving to work. You've got the situation on the road where the traffic was so backed up because people are trying to avoid this river in the road. But yet, out of all of that inconvenience, we still don't seem to think this is something that should be addressed urgently. Like, are we accepting that? It's just supposed to be an inconvenience?
What will happen is that the Ghanaian emotional state is so elastic that as soon as we move past the problem, we return back to normal, and there's no, we were stretched and we were angry.
Because this is a perennial problem.
It's
not like, this is a
one-off.
One-off. We've
seen this for years.
It happens all the time.
Listen,
it rains, and this is what happens.
A year after this road was built, this started happening because there's silt.
I don't get it.
The entire there's a road when you branch past the Ecobank and you climb up. There's a whole entire stretch there. All the silt from there and everything is washing into the road.
And nobody thinks, okay, let's tar that road so we'll stop the dust and the dirt from washing into the gutter.
Even as you're saying that road, so where you're looking here, the Ecobank is just behind the trotro, where the trotro is on the right is. Yeah, the turning there is what I'm talking about. That road there, silt washes into the main road from the top there. Okay, now the entire campus, most of the campus, Ghana Telecom campus, is tarred, so there's no issue there, right?
And then you've got the police academy next to it.
Yes. So the silt is coming from that road up there, right? So my question is, when they were doing all the resurfacing of Tesano roads, did somebody not have the minutest intelligence to say that let's close off this road here too and tie it? So that at least the silt that comes every year from that place into the road, we at least let's stem it. But no. It was not in Ghana, no. By all means, we have to leave some small problem that will become a big problem. And we'll all be looking at this every time and be talking like this.
I'm looking at the guy in the small car who drove through the water following the big truck.
Yeah.
And hopefully he won't go and damage his car. That was risky. And then that becomes another problem.
Yeah.
Broken down vehicles who are trying to navigate this flood water.
Yeah.
Then it's just the problems compound.
Everything. Yeah, it becomes...
That's what I can't understand. Like, at what point will we feel inconvenienced enough that it's like, okay, this is enough with this. We have to do something about it.
As a people, I'm not sure we will ever feel inconvenienced enough. I think what will happen is probably when a big man is majorly adversely affected, then decisions will be taken so that at least we take a couple of big steps forward and then we stay. That's what happens. Okay. So we as a people, dear, and when I say we as a people, it's we and our leaders. We are the same. See, our elasticity is we are so elastic as a people that we stretch and you release us, we'll come back to normal. And it's like everything's okay. Nothing has happened.
You know, there's another spot, and so there's either I take this route, the Tesano route, or the Kanda Highway. There's another spot just before the traffic light that will take you to Alisa, on the bridge over the Ring Road.
Yes.
That flyover.
Not the Kanda Highway?
Yes,
Kanda
on the Kanda Highway.
Yeah.
That spot too.
Yeah.
Constant when it rains.
Yeah.
David,
All
the
of this
same thing. You have to dodge a river.
It's just silt.
Why?
That's all it is. It's silt in gutters. So right now, if you go and open a gutter, the gutter is about this. This is how much space is left in the gutter, because all of it, the huge gutter like this, is all filled with silt till here. And sometimes you're even lucky if there's this space left. It's up to the top, underneath the cover is just silt.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So literally, it's as if there's no gutter.
Imagine, so you were talking about driving on that road when it was a bit dark.
Yeah.
Imagine someone in the wee hours of the night, is
They
driving
don't
on
know
that
the
road.
road.
There's no street light. They don't know the road. They're going at because the road is not busy, driving pretty fast.
Yeah.
And they encounter that river of water.
Oh no, you will have a problem. You will have a major accident.
Because you won't even see the water to slow down. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're driving at speed and you hit that water,
forget
you
it.
will have a major accident.
It's Charlie, we have to be serious about these things. I don't know who. Is it the assembly?
It's the assembly.
I mean, come on.
Listen. The silting of gutters,
it's
not like number one, you don't need earth moving machinery. You don't need any heavy equipment. All you need is an intelligent leader who says, remove the cover and come out the sand. That's all.
Yeah.
And then find somewhere to go and dump the sand after that. Look,
and
the
preferably
time they
before
desilted
the
this place,
rains.
the time they desilted the thing here. No, because we're going to get to June.
Yes.
June is west.
We haven't even reached May.
We've not done May yet.
We've seen a change in the rain patterns.
Yes.
And we spoke to the gentleman from the meteorology department, and he says their predictions are very accurate these times.
Now,
which means you can see, there's going to be heavy rain, rains. So let's prepare. Let's not wait for the unfortunate.
Yeah. May will come, June will come.
Let's not do this.
So
please.
we're not done. So the sensible thing to do right now is today, people from the assembly there should go and clear out the silt.
They have to wade through
flow.
the river.
No.
Wade in the water.
Well, that's what it is, right?
Wade. Yeah.
Because you didn't clean. You didn't clean it, so now you've created a river. So go into the island there, remove. And by the way, that island there, they've allowed the bush to overgrow.
Charlie, you see it too. You see.
You need to
so that
also
one
go and clear that one. That
problem.
one is a problem.
The median also has to be maintained properly.
The median is a problem. Go and clear the median. Look, somebody should tell the assembly. We are talking to them right now. They should go and do what they need to do. The needful. Go and do it.
That's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually driving.
And look, and when you clear out the silt, please don't leave the silt on the road. That's also another problem.
Collect it.
Yeah, that's also another problem. Don't leave the silt on the road when you clear the silt out of the gutter. Because about 1 week, the silt was sitting there on the road.
The refuse collection. But I'll say another thing too about the refuse and what it does on our roads. Tiptoe lanes. When you get to that traffic light in front of the old Vodafone building and everything, every morning I see the Zoom Lion truck, the workers. They have to now get down. Instead of them being able to just, lift the bin, empty the trash and go, there is trash on the road. So they have to now get shovels and start shoveling the trash because it's just all over the road. Now, for the people who put the trash there, I might be able to say I can't blame them. Because if you don't have a receptacle for it, where do you put it?
Yeah.
Where do you put it? Yeah. So now if those guys don't come and collect that rubbish, where does that rubbish go?
Yeah.
It's probably going to go and clog something.
As soon as it rains, the rubbish is going to be washed.
Do you understand?
Into some drain.
So it's a whole cycle. Where are the receptacles for the trash? Do we have enough of them? Are we making sure people dump the refuse properly? Seriously, it's an eyesore. You should see it. And you see these guys, again, they're supposed to be working very swiftly.
Yeah.
The machine lifts the thing.
You
go.
Lift the thing,
No. You now see them using manual labor to pick through
rubbish,
and it's all over the streets. Now every morning I watch. I just watch.
Lane?
Yeah, right. The Vodafone building. So if you're coming into Circle, that's when you're right. On the left, you'll see the trash. It's always between about 6:30. You see, I always just
My
watch
question
them
is-
quietly, thinking, look at the waste of time.
Yeah.
Because this is what they have to do.
So the shops that are there,
Yeah.
why have they not insisted on the garbage company or the assembly to provide them a proper
Maybe they
receptacle?
have. Maybe we don't know.
No, listen.
It could be.
We will,
It all-
we
it
will
all
come and hold.
contributes.
We will come and hold your collar till you bring it. You bring us the receptacle.
It's always bad.
Because it's actually, you see, so it makes them look bad. Because it's like you're throwing rubbish on the street, and that's where you dump your rubbish.
Oh, it's such a mess. Pile, you see heaps, and the bins that are there are just heaped and overflowing, and then the rest of the rubbish is just on the
because
floor,
they're
on the
using these
ground.
tiny bins.
Tiny bins for a whole market,
Yeah.
market area. Charlie, we have a lot of work to do. Proper
but you see-
receptacles for this, desalting of gutters, as you said, tarring roads to prevent the silt from forming in the first place,
Yeah.
keeping the medians clear and
Yeah.
clean. I don't know.
So
I don't know.
So, my focus on the assemblies this morning, because for me, I see that as the unit, the place where the work happens in our communities.
Yeah.
Right. It's either they are doing themselves or they've subletted to somebody else to do. Please get the work done. Tiptoe Lane, it's an eyesore. Baller should not be in the streets.
No, it's bad.
Tesano Road,
Yes.
the water should not be in the street. By the close of day today, that place needs to be desilted.
Kanda Highway.
Otherwise, you are a completely incompetent assembly. Yeah, I don't understand it.
And it's not good.
Are you going to say that no, we have to call dredge masters to come and dredge? Is that what we're going to say now? No, this is not it. Take the covers off, scoop the rubbish out. It's as simple as that. Why are you collecting this man's salary if you have not done your work? You should be ashamed. Anyway, let's take a short break. Why? Breakfast Daily will continue.
Welcome back to Breakfast Daily on City TV. Do send us a message. Let us know what your area is looking like, especially after last night's rainfall. So 0550-585832. Maybe you can even send a video to the WhatsApp line.
Show us what
Just
is
show us
happening.
if there's some flooding or something in your area you want us to see.
I think that to just wrap up this water conversation.
It's really
it's
on your heart,
on my
isn't
heart.
it? Okay.
Tesano Police Station.
Yes.
People they counter back on remand or whatever it is that they call it.
Yeah, counter back.
You've kept them there. Okay. Here's my suggestion. There's also a cadet training school, police training school. Why don't the police, for example, say that we are, as part of our corporate social responsibility, as a police service, IGP, good morning. We at the training school here, our cadets, we will partner with the assembly, all right? And this stretch of road from Abeka Junction through till Caprice Junction will be our social responsibility. We'll take care of it. We will grass the median. We will make sure that grass is always manicured and clean. We will grow flowers, trees, whatever. We'll beautify the area. Anytime it rains, we will desilt the gutters. And your cadets, because every year you will have cadets. That's the amazing thing about it. This police training school, every year you have fresh recruits. Yes, as part of boot camp, training, whatever. There's a way we can do these things.
We can do it.
But people don't care.
Charlie.
Yeah, and we're all using that. We don't care. So we are here like that.
We're here like that. But let's take a quick trip to Kaswa.
Okay.
While we're here.
Let's go.
All right. Now, some other things that come with rainfall in the rainy season, they often see the stats on diseases like cholera going up, right? Because the correlation, stagnant water, filth, people making food by gutters.
Yeah.
And okay. Now, apparently, the numbers of cholera are going up in Kaswa, and so are the numbers in HIV and AIDS.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Two diseases that we really want to tackle seriously, right? So we're going to be speaking to our Central Regional Correspondent for City FM, City TV, Calvis Tete. He'll give us an update on what's going on over there. Good morning, Calvis.
Good morning, Kofi.
Hi. Now, how is it over there after the rainfall last night? What's it looking like in Kaswa?
Yes, Kaswa is calm this morning. Just that yesterday's rain destroyed some properties of persons living in this community, but not that much. The entire community is muddy. Some portions of it is muddy. People are going about their daily activities. Nothing much here, Kofi.
Okay, all right, good to know. But we do hear there's some disturbing news regarding cholera and HIV prevalence rates in that area. So what can you tell us about what's happening?
Well, Kofi, Kaswa happens to be very closer to Accra, and because of its proximity to Accra, a lot of people often settle here in Kaswa because it's closer to go to work from Kaswa. It is just like a border to Accra. There are a lot of population here. There are foreigners, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ivorians, Liberians, a mixture of people here. The population here is huge, So yesterday we had an event, and then the Operation Clean Your Frontage campaign, where the assembly actually indicated its preparedness to, keep the vicinity clean. Because of its huge population, there's a huge chunk of garbage they make on a regular basis.
Right.
We have two key markets in Kaswa, the Kaswa Old Market and then the Kaswa New Market. So the assembly, while launching the event, indicated that there are some alarming rates of diarrhea in Kaswa and then HIV/AIDS.
Wow.
The municipal health director says for the diarrhea, they record on average 100 persons in a week. And it is alarming because, initially it used to be like that, but after COVID, this thing suddenly went away, but they are surprised that it has come back again. They believe that the COVID era, where we used to wash our hands, sanitize, actually helped, keep that diarrhea issue under wraps. But now that COVID has subsided a bit, people are not used to washing their hands, keeping the environment clean. So that is one major causes of the diarrhea in this area. Now to the issue of HIV/AIDS, the assembly is actually worried that the HIV/AIDS is not rather with the adult, but it's with the teeming youthful population of Kaswa. When you come to Kaswa, you notice that the nightlife here, I'm a witness to it. Sometimes I walk in town at night. The nightlife here is a bit different. Excuse my language, sometimes you see, this regular or public staff in Kaswa, you see commercial sex workers, moving around, and it's a normal thing, and sometimes it is worrying because it has become normal. You go to the various regular pubs that we know in Kaswa, you see these commercial sex workers, mostly foreigners, Ghanaians as well. And, that is one thing I believe is the cause of this high HIV and AIDS infection in the municipality, Kofi.
Okay, Calvis, you made a good point about the hand washing. And, a couple of days ago, we did host some guests here who were talking about the COVID vaccination drive. And they did mention that since we've relaxed the protocols, people are forgetting that some of these protocols are actually good for preventing other diseases. But we just seem to have relaxed on that. So is there sensitization going on to educate people and to remind them that there's more to washing your hands than just staying away from COVID? It's actually a life-saving practice that's very simple, but can protect you from so many things. Are people getting educated on that?
Yes, Koki, the assembly is saying that they will begin that sensitization, especially the municipal health directorate. They are saying they're going to begin that sensitization to draw people's attention to the fact that although COVID has subsided a bit, there is a need for us to keep the protocols like washing of hands, still not shaking hands because, people might be infected and then it might generate into something else. So the assembly is saying they are going to continue with the sensitization drive to draw people's attention to the fact that they must still stick to the protocols properly.
Okay, and just to clarify, you're saying the cases are of diarrhea and HIV/AIDS, or diarrhea and cholera and HIV. I just want to be sure.
Yes, they are saying diarrhea leading to cholera.
Wow.
And then the HIV/AIDS infection, which the municipal chief executive was actually worried. And she says she's going to begin a drive in some senior high schools because the infection is actually with the youthful population from the 15s up there. So they will begin a drive through the senior high schools in the municipality to actually sensitize the youth on the need to abstain or protect themselves. Because
Right.
when you come here at night, it is interesting. You see these commercial sex workers, openly doing their business,
Wow.
and it's worrying.
It is worrying because, we thought we had done quite a bit as a country to educate people about HIV/AIDS, the need to protect yourself, the need to practice safe sex or abstain. But from what you're saying, especially in the youth, and they have access to so much information about this, so they should have all the information they need to know how dangerous, indiscriminate sexual activity can be. So it's actually, as you said, very worrying to hear that the numbers are increasing again. But Calvis, I wanted to go to some of the footage we've seen and the state of some of the gutters, the kind of refuse and rubbish that we're seeing.
Yeah.
And of course, the Clean Your Frontage Task Force are going about trying to get some kind of sanitation and sanity going on with regard to that. But there was some of the images we saw. How do you even begin to, okay, we're looking at it now. I mean, there are people living on either side of this from what it looks like, right?
Yes.
So how do they begin to even apportion responsibility, educate people on what not to do? And because it seems like a kind of a squatter community, from what I'm seeing, I'm just assuming, I don't know. But, how organized can this be to keep the place sanitized? Because I'm assuming there are no proper toilet or washroom facilities. There's no proper refuse facilities. So that's why you see what you have there. How are they going to be able to tackle these kinds of pockets of filth when the place itself looks like it's not properly organized?
Yes, Kofi, one issue in Kaswa that the municipal chief executive raised concerns, and then she's actually found a solution to it, is the fact that Kaswa hasn't got a dumping site where we usually dump refuse after collecting them in town. So the NC has managed to secure a land around Awutu Breku. According to her, she's spoken to authorities, and she has managed to secure a land around Awutu Breku where these filth, if they are collected, will be taken there, and then they'll use that place as a dumping site. So that is actually a good news and one way of trying to fight the filth in Kaswa. Another thing is the task force that she set up, and she's saying that this time around they are going to they're going to give 4 fines to persons who are caught throwing rubbish around. When you are caught, you'll be given brooms to sweep, because according to her, there have been instances where persons are caught, and then by the time you take them from Kaswa to the court, which is around Opako, some authorities will call and say, "Oh, he's my guy. He's a member of the, just let it go," and all that.
Wow.
She raised concerns, and then she's saying, as a result of that, they are going to implement the 4 fine system. Persons are going to be given instant, punishment when they are caught. Because she's worried that the situation is getting out of hand.
Right.
When you look at those footages, the gutters are choked, and then the introduction of the night toll being collected from market women, according to the MC, there's one point in time where she was coming from office, and then when she got to a portion of the Kaswa main stretch, she saw a woman actually cooking just on the shoulders of the road, cooking plantain, pounding fufu. It means they work at night. The night life here is a bit high. So she was asking herself why such a person is doing all this here, and then at the end, in the evening, to leave all those fields there for the morning team to come and clear it off. So therefore, they are introducing the night toll collection, where they will take money from these women who sell on the street and use that money to pay the tax force, who also go around and collect the fields. And that is an initiative that needs to be lauded, because she believes that will end the filth in the municipality of Kokwe.
Okay, Calvis, thanks so much for this update. That's, again, our Central Regional Correspondent, Calvis Tete, with City FM, City TV, just giving us a bit more information about the prevalence of diarrhea leading to cholera and HIV/AIDS in the Kaswa area. Okay, we'll chat about this.
Yeah.
But just take a look at this
report
video as well, this
earlier.
report, and then Kweku and I will be back to chat more.
At the official launch of the Operation Clean Your Frontage campaign at the Central Business District of Kaswa, the Assembly indicated its preparedness to ensure that the municipality is clean. According to the Acting Municipal Director of Health Services for Ewutu Senya East, Daniel Ba, he is hopeful the launch of the Operation Clean Your Frontage campaign will help persons living in the municipality to keep the environment clean in order to prevent the spread of cholera. According to the Acting Municipal Health Director, The rising cases of diarrhea, which in the end leads to cholera, is alarming, thus the need for enough sensitization to be done. The Directorate says on the average, over 100 cases of diarrhea are recorded weekly. It is hoping that the Operation Clean Your Frontage campaign will help keep the localities clean to control diarrhea conditions in the municipality.
But just this year, we've realized that, every week we record some diarrhea diseases. We've been reporting on weekly basis. So we just realized that the weekly diarrhea diseases has been increasing for some time now. So we are now trying to find out as to some of the reasons which is contributing to this rise in diarrhea cases. It could be that the past year, because of the COVID protocols which we were all observing, so because of that, we were not recording the case. We urge all the people in the Ewutu Senya East to adhere to the protocols which are being laid down.
Municipal Chief Executive for Ewutu Senya East, Anita Love Obuemisa, also expressed worry over the increasing number of HIV and AIDS infection, particularly among the youthful population of the municipality. She said the assembly will soon begin a sensitization campaign in schools to help address this.
Kasoa, HIV/AIDS is on the rise. Our youth, please, take good care of yourselves. Our students, don't make it as if that it's your time and you are having fun. HIV/AIDS is on the rise. Let's be very careful. There are people who are not coming up to tell people that I have this disease. That is why we are supposed to be very, very careful. So I'm using this opportunity to sound this caution to all of us. Let's be careful in Kasoa.
The assembly says instant punishment and fines will be meted out to persons who are caught throwing rubbish around and not keeping their frontages clean. Traditional authorities will also be engaged to offer punishment to persons who are caught not keeping their frontages clean, according to the assembly.
The punishment has been that the people are to be sent to court when they are arrested for just throwing rubbish anyhow. Yes, it is good. We are not taking it out. It is there. We've also introduced the chief system, the chieftaincy system, where some of the issues will be sent to the palace for the chiefs to deal with it. When you get to the palace and they tell you this, what you did, and you are being punished, I think it also puts some fear in them. And the instant one is when people are caught. We have a lot of brooms, a lot of wheelbarrows. There are containers placed at some vantage point. Our municipal guards are there. As soon as you are caught dumping refuse anywhere, they will just give you the broom and they measure it for you to sweep.
The Ewutu Senya East municipality has launched the Operation Clean Your Frontage campaign, but some key issues raise red flags: the issue of diarrhea and HIV/AIDS in the municipality. The assembly is hoping the Operation Clean Your Frontage campaign, which is aimed at cleaning filth in the municipalities, will help reduce diarrhea in the area. However, on the issue of HIV/AIDS, it is hoping enough sensitization will be done to completely eradicate HIV in the municipality.
All right, so Anita Love Obuemisa is the MCE for Ewutu Senya East, and she's joining us on the phone now. Good morning, Honorable.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Daily today.
You're welcome.
It looks like you have your hands full and quite a lot to do in Ewutu Senya East. So let's break it down. So we have the issues with health, obviously, and then the Operation Clean Your Frontage implementation and trying to deal with the filth situation. So we can definitely see that you're concerned about the rise in the HIV/AIDS numbers in your municipality, and you're trying to tackle that. How are you approaching this with the youth? We understand from the reports that our correspondent sent in that there's a lot of questionable nightlife activities that he feels is contributing to the rise in numbers. So tell us about what you are doing to try to get this information down to the youth and to dissuade them from engaging in risky sexual behavior.
Yeah, thank you very much for this opportunity. I extend my greetings to His Excellency, and I don't take further. And my dear MP, Honorable Megita Okomsi, I ask God's favor and blessing. Yes, once again, I also greet all the inhabitants of Ewutu-Senya East and want to use this medium to thank all and sundry for their support yesterday. It was massive. The Traders Union, GPRTU, Nananum, everybody was on board, and the media as well. Yes, it's true, as you said earlier, our hands are full, but we can't do it all alone. It's a collaborative decision to do it, and starting from the health issue. Our youth, for some time now, somehow has been left out. So there are some of the things that they think it's normal for them to do. They think it's their time. Yes, when you are in your youthful age, that's where they say youthful exuberance. They are entitled to their own opinion and all that. But with regards to health issues in Ewutu-Senya East, we met the health directorate, and the statistics that were brought in showed that there is some rise in HIV/AIDS and diarrhea. In fact, we spoke about the diarrhea first, and that one was coming from the fact that the whole place is filthy, not having a good place to empty refuse, choked gutters, breeding mosquitoes and all that. So we started the education. Municipal sanitation guards are all over, sermoning the people. I remember about 3 weeks ago, 2 people were prosecuted, and I think we are on course. The education is also still on course. With the HIV, in fact, we started the education before schools had their break. We realized that we have to tackle the schools, the young people, to talk to them. Yes, there are alternatives, but you know, these young people, sometimes as you are talking to them, they are also thinking about a different thing. But we made them to understand the consequences of what they are doing, the health implications, and the end result as students. So it was started before they had their break. They went on vacation. And in the communities too, it was added to the diarrhea situation at the clinics, the public ones, the hospitals, and then the private ones. Looking to them, the health directorate said they directed their nurses. Early morning, they do some sensitizations for the patient. So we asked them that they should add that one to it. So it hasn't been easy. It's been quite rough. But we pray and hope that our youth will understand the life ahead so that they can also protect themselves for the future. So that's what we are working on it.
Okay. Now, speaking about the refuse disposal issue, we understand you've been able to procure some land that will be used as a dumping site. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yes, thank you very much on that one. We are in the process of procuring the land. It hasn't come to us yet. Land issues in our area comes with its own challenges. You are not careful, you don't go into it well. By the time you realize there is some conflict around it. So yes, we've gone ahead a bit. We've gotten the papers. We've given it to our lawyers to look into it.
Okay.
So that we won't befall any atrocities in terms of acquiring a land because we are in need of it. So that one is on course, and we hope to get it as an assembly.
Okay. In the meantime, what about receptacles for people to dump their refuse properly? Again, in the report that our colleague Calvis sent, we see, in certain communities, water communities, etc., the filth that is filling waterways and gutters and the nature of it. And I think it was mentioned that there are not enough receptacles. So what headway is being made to solve that problem and to deal with some of these settlements that are improperly constituted and situated?
Thank you very much. Kasoa, as we know, is a cosmopolitan area. It's not easy getting issues right down into the grassroots because of tribe, whatever. But in all that, we are still working at it. As the assembly doesn't have its own dumping site, we patch with other private people to dump our refuse. And because of that comes with cost, because when we go there, we have to pay. And also the tools, the equipment that we have to use in the community is very, very limited. Our vehicles are very old and they are not in good shape. Because of that, for the past 6 months, with my assembly members led by my PM and my coordinating director, we've been able to secure one of the small compact trucks to support the work of the assembly. We've also had what we call skip containers. For now, we've had only 3. As I said earlier, it all comes with cost. So we are taking it a step after the other. And we will be positioning it at some vantage point so that people will see. And as we do that, education will continue for them to know that these containers are here. And these are the places that you have to dump your refuse. We've also acquired 5 tricycles for now. I know it's not enough as Kasoa is growing. And it is going to be positioned at some vantage point. We have enough wheelbarrows, brooms, but we have to get more. And in fact, when we were about to launch this program, we spoke to people, private companies, and some of them saw what we were doing to be worthy, and they came in to support. We are still calling on them because the assembly cannot do it all alone.
Right.
And when we position all these things, I believe the community members will know that this is where they are supposed to dump their refuse, and it will reduce the filth that is shown all around the place.
Honorable, just quickly to go back on the health issues, just quickly before you leave us, I wanted to find out, in terms of your campaign to deal with the issue of HIV, the rise in HIV and the cholera and all of that. Let's look at the HIV side. As part of your sensitization, are you doing any, I remember years ago when the campaign to try and bring down our HIV rates nationally was being run. One of the things they did was they focused on groups, different groups, and one of the groups were the sex workers, the night workers, and there was a campaign to Ghana AIDS Commission would give them free condoms and take them through sessions and all of that to just help them to understand that it's for their own protection and their own safety. And UNAIDS actually came out with a report to say that the sex workers in Ghana at a certain point had, I think it was around 2013, 2014, had one of the lowest rates of HIV/AIDS in all the different groups in Ghana, the sex workers. I'm just wondering whether any of these things are, it will inform your campaigns that you're doing within the Kasoa area.
Yes, thank you very much. With HIV/AIDS discussion, if we cannot do away with the sex workers, the health director, the leader, the director himself, they've made a proposal, but if it hasn't been submitted yet at our last meeting, we are to meet them because they are still in the system and they are working. And even in Kasoa, we all know they are all over. And we've located such places. So the proposal is done, but it hasn't been submitted yet. So when they brought it to me, I said, no, there are some 1 or 2 things that has to be added so that we wouldn't send it. And when the materials are brought, we'll go back and say this or that. So they are considered in a way because they play a key role in some of these issues. So we are really working on it. And I hope within May. Yeah. And we also talk about ambassadors. Ambassadors, yes, people who are also ready to educate. Even our market women, They also came in. We have reps from all these people, and they were all part of the meeting.
Okay.
And in fact, they were marveled about the numbers of the youth that are in some of these things, and they all came out proudly that they are ready to support. So we are working at it.
Thank you
All right.
so
Thank
much,
you so
Honorable,
much.
for your time. We know you're very busy.
welcome.
Thank you for joining us on Breakfast Daily today. That's Anita Love Obo Emisa, who is the MCE for Ewutu Senya East.
Yeah.
She's got quite a lot on her hands, but she sounds like she's on top of the issues and probably needs support, you know, especially monetary, you know, to implement everything that's on her plate and the assembly in general that's on their plate. But I have to say, I don't envy her. It's a tough job.
Yeah.
A tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.